For the purpose of this assignment, here is my ZID. Thank you for watching.
The Paleolithic diet has been all the rage in recent years. From your fitness fanatic friends to celebrities like Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum, they all preach its amazing benefits and the incredible impact it had on their lives. But what is the paleo diet? That's what I'm here to explain. Well, the paleo diet was first introduced by Lauren Cordain, PhD, who says that we should imitate the diet of our Paleolithic era ancestors, eating meats, fish, nuts, oils, plants, all that good stuff. And unlike other diets, the paleo diet has incredible amounts of flexibility. There's no macro composition needed, no physical activity required, and no calorie requirements as well. All you need to do is cut out processed drinks, trans fat and processed foods, as well as dairy. Seems foolproof, right?
Well, before we start throwing away our beloved KFC, let's look into the science behind weight loss. Now, our bodies consume 3 major macronutrients, one being proteins, second being carbohydrates, and the third being fats. They enter our body through the digestion process, which is first chewing the food, followed by the food going through your gut, and then being absorbed by the small intestine, where it fuels all our muscles and organs. Now, carbs are broken into glucose, protein to amino acids, and triglycerides, which are just fat, to free fatty acids and also glycerol. These are absorbed by the villi in your small intestines and are released into your bloodstream to fuel your muscles and organs. Now, your organs and muscles either consume the nutrients or can store them for later use as glycerol, which eventually turns into fat that is deposited as lipid droplets in new or existing adipocyte cells. Your body either uses the consumed energy or previously stored energy. This process, which is called the respiration process, it releases water and carbon dioxide, which is what you breathe out, as well as heat, which is used to maintain your vital body functions. Now, when energy is consumed, ATP is produced, which can be used for movement, as well as nerve transition and other very vital bodily functions. Essentially, the way you gain weight is by eating more energy, calories, than your body burns off, and to lose weight, you burn off more calories than you consume. Now, if we look into the paleo diet like a scientist would, the pros, the paleo diet means avoiding highly processed carbs, simple carbs that have a high glycemic index, as well as a lot of sodium. This will allow the metabolism to reduce spikes in blood sugar and decrease the amount of sodium in your system, which means your body retains less water and also is more effective in using current energy stores, and it also affects insulin. Lean protein and plant-based complex carbs also take longer to digest in your body compared to the high fat and high caloric foods of the Western diet, therefore requiring more energy expenditure to break down those food in the metabolic process. About 20 to 30% of protein goes to digestion, while carbs is about 5 to 10% and fats is the least, with 0 to 3% of calories going into digestion. Now, the cons of the paleo diet to your metabolic process is the limited grain and dairy intake you will be having during this diet. This creates a lack of vitamins such as fiber and niacin, which means your microbiome, your healthy bacteria, will be harmed and your organs will not be able to function properly. For example, a lack in niacin, the vitamin responsible for the breaking down of macronutrients, results in a lack of absorption and causes diarrhea and a vast array of other negative health effects. The critique of the paleo diet can be quite complex, as the diet is very flexible from individual to individual. As long as you cut out processed foods, then you are technically following the paleo diet. But let's look at this at one simple rule. Energy in needs to be less than energy out when trying to lose weight. Now, if we had two individuals, say identical twins, where one had the paleo diet and the other had the Western diet for about 3 months, who would lose more weight? Well, let's answer this question. If we assume both individuals eat around the same amount, we can safely conclude that the person with the paleo diet will lose more weight. Why? Well, the paleo diet consists of lean proteins and complex carbs, which, as we saw before, requires more energy to break down compared to high amounts of fat in one's diet, which is the Western diet pretty much. And studies have shown that switching to whole foods can increase your metabolic rate up to 50%. Now, in this thought experiment, we assume that the average person is not counting calories, they're not increasing their physical activity in a given day. So what do we do about this? Well, the extra effort that a person has put into watching what they eat and avoiding processed foods can be extremely inconvenient. So it can then be reasoned that the diet is quite unsustainable for the average person. People have lives to live, jobs to work for, family to tend to. The effort would be better spent just tracking the amount of calories they're eating in a given day through apps like MyFitnessPal and increasing their energy expenditure by going for a run or going for the gym for about 20 minutes a day, not long. If we take these lessons of the paleo diet into account, weight loss is bound to happen, but only when paired with the knowledge of what you are eating and of how much you are eating. I would even go further to say that the paleo diet in concept is a very efficient way to stay healthy and lose weight. But the cutting off of specific food groups can be very detrimental to one's health. So by making small sacrifices of cutting out processed foods and increasing whole foods in our regular diets, it can lead to big results over time for weight loss. Significant weight loss can't be lost over a few weeks or months even, but need a sustainable life cycle to get rid of excess fat cells in your body. Consistently watching calories is your best bet when trying to lose weight. So go ahead, have your burger, even if your Paleolithic ancestors won't approve.